Hello, this is Margin of Error. Today we're going to be analyzing the Kickstarter trailer for Margin of the Strange. This is the first shot of the trailer. We see triangles which might represent glass shards floating around Link's face. Then a ripple washes them away. We see the same ripples in the intro trailer for the Margin webcomic. I'm unsure if we ever found out what the ripples are called. The ripple causes Link to wake up. This could be Link's first time waking up in the Margin. We've seen this shot before of Link standing above cherry blossoms. Link holds Nil in his hand. He's a denizen of the Margin. We learned from the Kickstarter character descriptions that Nil is planning to use Link for his own gain to access the human world. We don't know what for, but Link doesn't realize that, so it looks like they'll team up for now. We see an animation of Nil flying past Link's face, and we see the larger Margin world and a shot of the nucleus in the sky. We then see fast cuts of a few locations. We see a room filled with corroded stone blocks and a glass blocking the stairs at the bottom. These are breakable and meant to access the garden we see later. This is a room called the Aqueduct. 2 candles are side by side at the entrance. Later we see Hesper say this about candles. You will need 2 of these to open a pathway. So candles are probably required to access this hallway. We see this room, which I think is the same as the garden, albeit with glass clusters appearing in different spots. We see the right stairs are now clear, indicating Link has cleared them. Same room, but looking at it in a more developed state with a full garden. We see the garden in one of the pictures on the website, which seems to have been recorded in the same session as that screenshot, as we see the plants in the same exact state, but with the glass clusters at the top cleared out. Also to keep note, we see 3 plant types: flower, mushroom, and fruit. This shot shows the table room we've seen before. The mirror is broken only in the bottom left this time. Side note, the mirror seems to be bugged in the same way as an earlier screenshot we got, the mirror clipping above the cherry blossoms. And also, Nil is facing the wrong way in the mirror, not important to point out, but I thought it was funny. We see another ripple, and then Ling laying down on the table to go to sleep, presumably to return to the real world. We see glimpses of the girl we saw in the teaser trailer again as Ling sleeps. We see Ling run across an area with lily pads, wreaths, sprinklers, flowers, and big airplanes, which fits Ling's origami motif in the paper cranes we saw before. We see another area Ling runs across with more of the same elements, this time with clear teapots pouring water that sit on top of glass branches. And surprise, cup of water! Ling runs across a star-themed area with crescent moons, star shapes, and glowing mushrooms. And Ling passes through an area with a big castle in the distance, some glass mountains, and a view of the nucleus in the sky. This is possibly related to the teapot area. Back in the table room, this time with the mirror having none of its shards in place and Link's portrait not visible. We see Ling use a pipe as a tool to clear the cherry blossoms. Every time Ling swings, his red bar depletes, indicating its stamina. We also see Ling charge up a swing by holding the pipe for longer. We see Ling walk across a rainy urban area on top of faded crosswalk. We see a rainbow umbrella, some hydrangea plants, mushrooms, swirly plant things, a street light, and some traffic signals. Ling breaks a glass/hydrangea cluster to collect 2 glass shards, pink glass thing, and a swirly plant. We then see Ling walk up to Hesper to craft items. In the menu, we see Hesper explain, you will need 2 of these to open a pathway when the candle is selected. We see 2 candles by the doorway in the aqueduct. Hovering the hydrangea capsule, Hesper says, turns a flower into a seed-like capsule that contains its genetic information. We saw that same text in another screenshot, but it appears to be in another area from that screenshot, which we don't know where that area was. Hovered over the pink mushroom capsule, turns a mushroom into a seed-like capsule that contains its genetic information. Hovered over the blueberry capsule, turns a fruit into a seed-like capsule that contains its genetic information. We also see a planting well, which we've seen before. We see Ling on some sort of balcony with a broken handrail and looking up towards a planet in space. We see a fast cut of characters, Amarantha novel, siblings, possibly a father and his daughter in the rainy area we saw, a girl named Alita on a boat, a scientist guy who appears friendly but then makes a sinister face, probably one of the people researching Link's dreams and probably not looking out for Link's best interests. On top of the Windlock Institute's roof again, this time Ling looking over the left side towards the city. We see a metro, possibly one of the locations that connects to the other areas in the world. A wind farm with a lot of wind turbines. We see the ring in the Margin. Link stands before it, we see footprints left in the ground, and some structures off to the sides of the screen. Here we see Ling walking through the string area we saw in the teaser trailer. Presumably in the same area, we see Ling connecting a string from an off-screen character's picture to his own. We see pictures of Nil, Amarantha novel, a named glasses guy who is connected to Amaranth, Alita who is connected directly to Ling, father and his daughter, scientist guy, no idea who this girl is, but we saw her picture, and Iskai hiding in the bottom left. In the final shot, we see Ling close the book with the pictures and the strings depicted in it, walk over to the bed and go to sleep, while 2 electrode things extend out and are attached to his head. The monitors behind Ling then line up. And that's pretty much all I've got for this trailer analysis. Thank you for watching.